Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Friday. Even though today is Thursday, I'm just being honest with all of you guys. I'm telling you that technically I'm leaving tomorrow for the Dominican Republic. I'm going on a trip where it's going to be 27 of us in the same home. And I know what you're thinking, like a swingers trip. And I thought the same thing, right? But no, I don't think that's what it is. It's supposed to be a wellness trip. I'm super, super excited about it. Jason and I leave in the morning to go to the Dominican Republic. So we'll see. And I'll definitely be back to tell you guys all about it, if that makes sense. But we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. All fingers crossed. Anyways, I can cross my fingers for my trip and swingers and Dominican Republic and all of that. I don't know, but I can't cross them for Dorit and PK. We have a lot to talk about, lots to discuss, especially because their financial is coming out. And yeah, you better believe we're going to talk about it. So smash the like button, show some love. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And here we go. All right, guys. So thank you to our girls over at tasteofreality.com. Honestly, there's a lot that's going on. Dorit and PK's finances, including the home ownership. I guess Ronald Richards decided, hey, let me just dive into all of this shit, which it's not the first time, to be fair. And I'm not sitting here like bashing him or, well, I wouldn't bash him, but I'm not saying anything good or bad. It's not the first time that he's really got involved, is what I'm trying to say. But let me just bring it up what he's saying. I think that's a better way of putting it. Hold on. Present, share screen. So, attorney Ronald Richards said, Dorit and PK Kemsley update. First, the house is not a rental. It was conveyed to an LLC managed by Dorit. Second, they are not even on speaking terms, as evident from the public outing. No happy face for the kids. And third, there is now a restraining order on all of their assets due to the divorce filing. Fourth, any housewives' IP is community property. If Paul doesn't have cash, Dorit will have to pay for his attorney, and that's all for now. So what they're saying is Dorit owns her home, which is highly leveraged. But I don't know. I think her dad's name is Shalom, but I believe it was her dad who was on the mortgage. So or title, I don't know. This is interesting though, because Ronald Richards, he gets into all of the mess. Hold on. I just want to see. Tactical divorce filing. Dorit strategically waited until after the 10 years of marriage. You know what? I'm so sick. People keep saying this. Oh, well, Dorit waited until after 10 years of marriage to get a divorce. Yeah, it would take a moron not to do that. She was married to the guy. She gave him 2 kids, Jagger and Phoenix. And then she waited because they were starting to have issues around like the 9-year mark. And she said, you know what? I'm going to drag your ass out to 10 years because at 10 years in the state of California, I get half of everything. It doesn't take a dummy to figure that out. Like if you were her, you would have waited too. Doesn't matter. I mean, you've already sat there and you've laid next to this man for this long that you can't stand. So why wouldn't you just give it another year and make sure that you're set? If you're actually set and you're not ridden with financial obligations and bills, which that could happen too, which I'm going to get into in a second because there was something that came out, but we're not done. Hold on. Let me share this too. Going back to it. Then there was this. Oh no, that was Erica Girardi. The divorce complications with the Boy George loan. So he shared PK and Dorit and Boy George and everything that's saying, and he's saying, well, everything that's being written. He said another complication in the Paul and Dorit Kemsley dissolution is that Paul has leveraged and borrowed against the Boy George brand, which if you're his, I'm trying to understand. His manager, how in the hell are you borrowing against his brand unless you have equity in that brand? But then if you have equity in that brand, that means that you would have to have a contract that gives you equitable assets. And if you don't have equitable assets, meaning you don't have a percentage, then you shouldn't be able to borrow against the brand. But if you were a manager who signed somebody like Boy George and you said, I'm going to take equitable assets and the sales from your concert, from your merch, from all of the shit, most artists, especially somebody like Boy George, like you wouldn't sign that. So that doesn't really make sense why you would have equitable assets in Boy George unless you bought into it. But even still, I don't get that. But moving on. If you don't know who Boy George is, you're too young to be reading this, is what he said. The lender has a perfected lien on this asset, and Dorit will be subordinate to this lien. The loan will get paid back first, and you can review the broad pledge of collateral made by Paul, which Dorit is stuck with. And he said TBD, like being like, meaning to be determined. What in the actual is happening right now? Also makes no sense. But okay. So we're going to keep it moving. The personal relationships and like the dynamics. So we saw this woman. What is her name? It's Shanna Wall. She was on The Amazing Race. So everybody keeps calling her this amazing reality TV star. Like this girl came out. She did it. She dated Ryan Seacrest. She has been around the block. And I don't mean it as like, I'm not calling anybody like good for her. You dated Ryan Seacrest. You did all of the things. But PK was seen out and about. And it was Anna from the Real Housewives of Miami, who's also, she doubles as an attorney. And she last season came on for season 6. I think it was like episode 7 that she came on. And she was like, oh my God, I'm here. And I'm going to call out Alexia. And it was such a flop. It was actually super, super embarrassing for her. But then she just came out and she said, I know exactly what PK is doing. PK is trying to trigger Dorit before the 10-year mark. But what she didn't like, before you go on a podcast, especially as a former housewife, then understand what the 10-year mark is. And that was in March. We're on May 1st. This happened April 22nd. Shut up. But we're going to put that behind us. Now, with the Shanna Wall situation, apparently she was at PK and Dorit's wedding. And now everybody's making a big deal out of that, saying, oh my God, Shanna was at the wedding. I actually don't think that that's like have you never slept with one of your wedding guests or like cheated on your spouse with them? Is that not a thing? Have you guys not seen Lifetime or Netflix? Or like there's a show on Apple right now called, I think, Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm. And he's literally, leaving his ex-wife with her bridesmaid. I'm not saying I didn't have bridesmaids, by the way. So don't try to pin this shit on me. I'm just saying this is not like the most unheard of thing. It's not the best. But if the guy is divorced or going through a divorce, and she is divorced or going through a divorce, and she's going out and she's exploring what is out there, and so is he, it's kind of fair game. It's like Kyle and Mauricio. But I want to hear what you guys think, guys. Pop off in the comment section. By the time you're watching this, hopefully I will have made it safe to Santo Domingo, I think it's called, Dominican Republic. I will keep you posted. I'll be posting all over social media. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Do all of the YouTubey things, and we'll see you next time.